so shit hasn't been perfect. I mean, I was there in the beginning as well. You know, I bought the fucking low as well on Hex and everything like that. But yeah, you're right. Like it was what it was, right? It was just down. But because it was such a simplistic product at the time, and it was just that alone, I think we bottomed out easier with this. There's more there's more people, and there, you know, it's funny to me, you know. I mean, this is just. I'm not like this. Like I had no point that I feel like I had to sell my stacks or whatever in terms of like, oh, I had losses or anything like that. Like I took profits, but I had other parts and stuff like unless you needed the money for some godforsaken reason, I don't know why someone would be selling unless you're trying to get into fiat and all these other wonderful products. But you know, it's like obviously like I personally have an allocation in every project that they've launched so far, other than obviously Famous because it's not out yet, obviously. But I guess in the next 30, 40 days it will be, I guess, or at least both of them will be the fiat side, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. That's a butt question, man.
That's a butt question, I guess. So, right?
Yeah, that's as good an estimate as anybody's going to give. I don't know for sure. You know, there's no reason we can't launch fiat right now, other than we're just waiting for the ball to sort of play through. And also, I have a little bit of concern that maybe there may be a change to Pulse X just because of what's happened. So I don't know. Like I'm happy to wait a couple of weeks on that one. But you know, we're running it on Ethereum. It's, you know, been running fine. We had a really nice stress test with you know, the fork, and nothing broke. So
that was a great stress test. Yes,
that's about as good as a stress test as you'll ever get. You know, so yeah, we know that works. We're confident about it. So we'll be launching that in the coming weeks. Yeah, Fame will be not far behind it because they're both effectively similar risk. You know, so if one's safe to launch, the other's safe to launch, if that makes sense. But yeah, we're not in a colossal rush either. You know, in the meantime, you know, we have a lot to talk about with Fatty and PHUX. And the Fame sacrificers are already getting back some returns via these last two airdrops, right? So they were given substantial allocations via eFiat, and they've just been given substantial allocations again. So via the second round. And you know what? I may not be done. I'm gonna keep going. I reckon.
Keep going, bro. You're on a roll, bro. You're on a roll. Keep going.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, keep it coming.
So yeah, and then, you know, I want to have the biggest fuck off launch ever for Fame when it comes, because, you know, to me that thing's really the jewel in the crown. It's the one I'm the most excited about, even though PHX has really like just been a really nice surprise. But like I'm personally super excited about Fame.io. It just has such obvious degen appeal. You know, everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows these things are profitable. You know, as a token holder, you know, it provides a unique use case that, you know, no one has anywhere else. So we basically have a monopoly, probably for the foreseeable future on it. You know, do you
think that's angered some people in the background and stuff like that? Because I mean, obviously, I feel like other people in the community had way more time to get shit done and stuff. Obviously, it's been 2 fucking years, right? And you know, you guys got the jump on a lot of people, man. So, you know, congratulations to you guys, man. I give the fucking respect where it is. But
yeah, that's right. I mean, well, I think the biggest thing that's helped us is that we don't rely on consultants to do our programming, right? I think a lot of other teams, they're relying on third parties, whereas, you know, my partners are doing the heavy lifting here, and they're 100% responsible for it, right? And you know, that means I can kind of, you know, like we don't take days off. You know what I mean? Every single day is a work day for us, and will be until those things are delivered, right? You know, so I'm literally skiing today, but I'm here talking to you guys, and I've been muting people in the Telegram while I'm on the chairlift.
I
You know,
yeah.
so I mean, I think that should show you that we have the work ethic of an Amish person when it comes to this stuff, and I think that's probably why we're ahead of some people. You know, if you're relying on third-party devs to do your fork, you're sort of at their mercy, right? And a lot of times these guys actually work for other people, right? You know, and if you're mean to them, they'll say "fuck you" and
Yeah.
you know,
Back
I'm busy, and they'll just go. They'll go to the next guy, right?
back.
Yeah. So I think that's actually a really good question to ask people. By the way, like I know you're all about teaching your students the things, right?
Yeah.
But it's like it's a really good thing to know when you're investigating a potential investment. Is who's actually going to be doing the programming here, right? And they tell you, oh, we've got a great dev team. It's like, okay, who's your dev team? Do you know these people in real life? Or are you connected to them physically? Do you know where they live? Like, do you know their kids' names? Do you know their wives? Or is this actually a company that's like based out of Bangladesh that you've hired, right? Like I think that's one of the most important questions you can ask anybody who's doing these things. There's a whole list of reasons why that's important. One of them is just, does it happen on time? But obviously the more obvious one is, if they're relying on those people, the odds of the thing being a rug pull are much higher, right? Because then you could have perfectly well-meaning founders who are just fucking stupid and irresponsible, which those people exist, right? So you need to. It's really nice to know. I think, but that's sort of our X factor, and also yeah, we're like we're a team that's been working together forever. We know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we just understand the investment world really well. So we set up things so that we basically do well no matter what. And part of that was capping our sacrifices, not asking for too much money.
That was
part
a
of that
huge thing, dude. Like that's one of the things that really took me really not changed my mind, because I didn't know about you guys back then. I mean, I had heard about you guys when you guys had like $1 million left on your sacrifice. But when I was like, wow, I've never heard. That is really weird, because everyone's just they're all trying to get as much as they fucking can, right, into the pools, right? The more the merrier. But that's the first time I ever heard a project where they said like, yeah, we don't. This is what we need. That's it. Done.
Yeah, and that was deliberate, because we knew that would set a very low bar, and we would just fly right over it, and that's what we did. Like, completely unsurprising to us, we've stuck to that, and that's worked really well for us. Like, if I raised $1 billion for fame, I'd be a little bit worried about giving you guys a good return. You know what I mean? Where we're at now, you can't even buy a house in Sydney or LA for what we've raised, right? It's fuck all, right? So it's not that hard to do well, from where we are right now. Look, we got the PHUX token. I'm ecstatic about it, and I think the fame guys should be as well. It's done way better than I thought it would. The community really seems to appreciate it. So, I don't know. Maybe there's more things up our sleeve in the future too. I don't know. We'll find out.
Beautiful, man. Just keep it chugging along, man. And that's all. Like, that's the important thing too.